Greetings, hello, and welcome. Welcome to another exciting installment. I have decided that I would like to share some of my insights on the senses. Specifically, let's talk about the five senses, and hopefully we can see how communication and language and thought around saying something like that we have five senses really kind of limits us. I think it's kind of comical. I think it's kind of
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
it's almost laughable that certainly when I was growing up, this was the communication that we have five senses, and then no one ever really spoke about anything else. And those five would be sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. So my comedic example of this is, the movie The Elf. And if you were a person or a being who just woke up in a body one day.
Now? But I just woke up.
Say you came from a place of sensory deprivation into a world full of sensory experience.
I tried out the sensory deprivator 5000.
A lot like the experience of watching the Christmas movie, The Elf, with
You did it! Congratulations!
with Will Ferrell. Because think about everything he experiences is like so new and exciting.
Ooh.
And just there are so many quotes and so many good examples from that movie where he's having some sensory experience, and it's like very exciting, as if it's happening for the first time.
Beautiful.
Like experiencing somebody's anger and just going, oh, he's angry.
He's an angry elf.
Or the coffee.
It tastes like a crappy cup of coffee.
Or the chewing gum from the subway. This is not the world's best coffee.
You don't have to drink that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that movie, and what I think is cute and beautiful and attractive about it is it's like it's kind of seeing what it would be like if you suddenly woke up into this kind of multi-sensory experience and got to kind of see things for the first time.
Look at you!
However, if that were our experience, which it kind of is, over time, if we really sat and explored and watched, so you wake up into this body, have these sensory experiences, okay, then we might get to some deeper questions. How did I get here? Where did I come from?
How did I get here, Dad? Where did I come from?
All these kinds of things, and what they tend to do is point us back to observing, watching, looking for answers.
I was looking for an answer.
Within our self or our mind or our consciousness. And so I thought I would discuss some deeper senses that have occurred to me through my observations, just kind of feel like are rarely spoken about and don't often make it into the conversation.
Why can't we talk about this?
But one of the first ones that I wanted to draw attention to is the orientation of awareness.
I'm aware, pal. I'm well aware.
The orientation of awareness, which it has to do with kind of this idea of where is awareness located? Or when I say I did this, I did that, I saw this, I saw that. Where is this I?
Where am I?
That we're all talking about all the time and sometimes thinking about? Where is it located? And often it's just kind of the sensation of being in a body, right? And feeling grounded.
I'm better in my body.
Feeling a sense of location, being on earth, on the ground, having feet on the ground.
With your feet on the ground.
And this, what another thought that came to me while I was reflecting on this is that gravity is kind of like, weighted blankets are very popular right now, and gravity seems kind of like this comforting weighted blanket.
Thank God for gravity.
I mean, often we don't get into conflict when, I feel like I'm experiencing more gravity than some other people. But regardless, gravity is this very kind of grounding, comforting force that gives us this this orientation of our awareness.
Thank gravity you're here.
So we don't really have to question it, or don't often question it too much, because it can be very obvious in that sense. All right, spatial awareness. Spatial awareness is, it's spoken about in sports.
Like Space Jam.
And maybe travel or certain things, but it's like where, orientation of awareness is kind of where am I. Spatial awareness is where is everything else. And this, while I don't want to get too deeply into this concept of maybe being, related to the ideas of separation and I and they.
We separate them.
However, it's even acknowledged in, ancient Chinese and Eastern philosophy, the idea of the 10,000 things. We can close our eyes and then open our eyes and see 10,000 things.
So many things.
Which is everything else. So where is everything else? This is a very convenient tool for navigation, movement, orientation, and creation.
Create, honey, create.
So, again, it's not something we often think about or reflect on, but having a spatial awareness is also an extremely important part of just kind of a conscious sense. All right, next is a sense of urgency.
Hurry up!
A sense of urgency. This is also commonly spoken about as being in time, experiencing time.
Last time I checked, time is still real, okay?
Yeah, I mean, now there's a more dialogue around psychological nature of time, whether time is truly an objective experience, or a subjective, perceptional, psychological experience, which is why I like to call it a sense of urgency.
I detect a sense of urgency in your voice, Michael.
Because we have all experienced times in our lives where we felt a greater sense of urgency and a lesser sense of urgency.
A matter of utmost urgency.
So perhaps when we are getting ready to go to bed, it is very convenient to experience a very low sense of urgency. But when we are getting up in the morning and have awareness that we are responsible for, or we've made the commitment to be somewhere.
Step on it. We all got places to be.
Of this thing we've created called time, which is really just based on motion, which may be a conversation for another time. But
Time is unity.
And many people, you've probably observed, still will have a high sense of urgency even when they feel like they are setting their own schedule. And other people may set their own schedule, this guy, with a lower sense of urgency. So, oh my goodness.
He's moving slowly.
A sense of urgency, how quickly or slowly things are changing, and how much do I feel a need to move or change with it.
Times change, Polly, and people with them.
All right, moving along, and this is the last one that I will primarily discuss here, which is alignment, or I just wrote the vector of desire. The vector of desire.
Brimming with desire.
Which was a peculiar phrase, but has to do with intention. You know, what is my intention or conscious orientation now?
What do you intend to do?
What do I want? What am I moving toward? What am I aligning my energies around?
Alignment's up!
And what am I attracting? Am I projecting? You know, am I talking? Am I making noise, even in my own mind? Or am I receiving? Am I listening?
Closely. This is important.
Am I observing or absorbing? And this changes frequently. So maybe, however, the most important, if there is such a thing, of these senses that I'm referring to.
This is important.
Because this is one that some of the wisest teachers talk about or ask about. Why are we here? What I remember my teacher, Master Robert, once asked me, what am I doing here? What are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
Which is a difficult question and kind of sends us into a tailspin of sorts. Certainly, if we feel disoriented and unsure of our moment-to-moment vector or direction.
Yeah, what is our purpose?
And so I thought this would be an important one to mention and reflect on And honestly, this, what are we aligning ourselves, what are we orienting ourselves around, can certainly be, and according to many other teachers, kind of a gateway to even greater senses of perception, or more senses of perception. And that also may need to be a conversation for another time. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope that you are healthy, well, blessed, and enjoy the rest of your day.